you cannot exclude the psychology of it from mathematics. When I say okay, 1 plus 1 equals 2, right? But are they really two similar objects? This can be same as this or this. Yeah, I just wanted to show off that I carry Rubik's Cube. Now the point being, yeah, so a book, how do you know this is identical to this, which is not, obviously not. Heraclitus said you cannot step in the same river twice. How do you know that this is different from this? How do you know that? You don't. Because you say, oh, but they look identical, but that one doesn't. Okay, but what do you mean by identical? See, this we're already stepping into psychology of it. What do you mean by it seems identical? What do you mean by seem? And that's the major flaw in foundational mathematics, modern mathematics, is you cannot extricate the psychology, human psychology, from mathematics. People are like, oh, there's rigid numbers. There are the rigid 1, 2, 3. They're rigid. The world works in some Ptolemaic universe when there's perfect Platonic geometry, but it doesn't. But you said, but that's an idealization, abstraction of it. But abstraction of what? It's completely psychological. My guess is good as yours. A Zen master's guess is good as Alfred Tarski's. They're both the same. They're both gibberish. From a universal point of view, from a neutral, azimuth, zenith. What is the opposite of nadir? Zephyr? No, I don't know. Anyways, from the highest point, it's from a panopticon viewpoint. Everything, these are all. There is no difference. Even as Leo Gura himself said, when you see that eating ice cream is no different than eating shit, you have reached enlightenment or something like that. As Leo Gura himself said that. Yeah, I think I have to name drop Leo Gura because I think and why I think the advantage of people like Leo Gura and others and myself is that we were not brainwashed by academia to think in this sort of linear structure, like pigeonhole, cut and dried boxes this way, because no one is. What is neurodivergence, by the way? Keep hearing. Is that a new recent trend? Anyways, I'm getting off topic. So yeah, but the thing is, when you break down everything, ultimately it is down to energy, right? So the energy is almost like you're making this universe out of liquid, or it's like almost like you're making this. Imagine this universe was made out of clay, and the illusion, there's separation, but it's all unity. If you are to break that clay object, the whole universe would just pop, just like a clay vessel with emptiness in the form. Form is emptiness. So don't be fooled when you go to Wikipedia, or like when you go to college, or like when you go to a college library, or like you see this inscrutable, this tome of references, because this is all syntactical bullshit, and so when you to talk of semantics from syntax, semantically you cannot extract the psychology from it. Because when I say 1 plus 1, what do you mean by add? Add put next to what? But you said this about modern mathematics. It's all set theory, right? Set, but what do you mean? It all starts with a null set or lambda calculus. You basically essentially you start. It's like a nested Russian dolls. It's like you start with emptiness, onions, and you add layers and layers, and but still you're starting from somewhere. See, you might say, oh, Zishan, no matter what definition I give, why explanation I gave, why is 1 plus 1 equals 2, you're going to reject it. Damn right I am. Why should you ex cathedra hold the secret to such universal truth? If people say, oh, you cannot do 1 plus 1 equals 2, it's so childish, it's so basic. Yeah, but you realize that it's not childish, it's not basic, because if you can explain, if no one in the world can explain, but you say, yeah, I just gave an example, but that's your truth. Why should I? It's almost narcissistic personality. Like, no matter what explanation you give me, I'm going to reject it, because why should you hold the truth, universal truth? Why should your truth be more truther or higher in value in hierarchy, higher up in the hierarchy than my one, or my one vice versa? My one should be. Why should I hold any? But that's how exactly mathematics work. It's madness. Imagine if people decided everything like that way and that's exactly how peer-reviewed mathematics works. People, bunch of nerds get together, and they impromptu. Not impromptu. It's scientific. Mathematics is scientific, but then mathematics pretends that it's higher than science because it's sort of pure and it works in abstract, like this computer graphics, like this binary, this sequential, mechanical, machine-like, stoic, emotionless manner. But it doesn't. It doesn't. You cannot say, okay, mathematics starts here, this first book, this first theorem, this first, and you add like a Lego, and you get the structure. But if a baby cannot figure this out, it's almost like saying God made the universe such a way that if you have to breathe, you need to have a license for the oxygen, or to buy the formula for the oxygen, or you're gonna breathe. No. It's effortless, it's natural, it's universal breathing. Just like that, if 1 plus 1 equals 2, if there was universal truth, it's for a fact, it would have been effortless without any explanation. Sans explanations, sans Fermat's last theorem explanation, sans four-color theorem explanation. I don't know what I'm sounding like a madman right now. So yeah, you go to mathematics, you go to pure mathematics, you go to Wikipedia pages, there's a Mostowski collapsing lemma, there's a Matiashevich theorem and whatever, there's the people who are pretending to do this, but you said this is what got to us in the, and I'm verging on ranting right now, but you said, yeah, this has got to the space, to the moon, and I don't deny that, but still doesn't change the fact. Okay, when people say mathematics helped you to get to the moon, that's why therefore there's a universal truth. That's as dumb as saying, oh, your ability to swim and navigation skills helped you to go along this log raft from one island to another. So, doesn't mean it's gospel. It's just one vehicle. Mathematics is a vehicle, but people act. It's like rock solid. It's like it's set in stone. It's gospel. That's how people act, and that's my main problem. And to me, it's as obvious. The 1 plus 1 equals 2 is meaningless, basically. But people think, and you start with that, and you build this weird. The Tower of Babel of this meaninglessness, and you pretend you're doing some highbrow like Takedo diagram and ordinal arithmetic, and but these are all concepts. Aleph Null, these are all concepts. Yeah, but those concepts itself are built on this primitive concepts of numbers, numerals, when those themselves are arbitrary and subjective. Yeah, I'll dare say that these are arbitrary and subjective. I mean, yes, this keyboard in front of me, there's the different keys, I mean, I'm not denying this. I'm not denying that the concept of discreteness doesn't exist in the universe. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's a learned concept. Babies are learned that there's discreteness. When you are born, when you emerge from womb, we have this oceanic consciousness, this transfer consciousness, theta wave mostly, and then we are programmed to think that there is discreteness, and hence all the trouble in the world. But that's different. Yeah, I mean, 1 plus 1 equals 2. why 1 plus 1 equals 2 is that sparks the question. Maybe that's why there is no war peace, because people think everything is separate, but they are separate. They're separate. That's another non-duality mayhem madness I don't want to get into, because separation do exist, duality do exist. Like I was surprised. My comparative religion class in college, I asked the professor, "There's Hindu, so in Hinduism duality does exist?" And he's like, "Yeah, absolutely." And all these people act like, "Oh, Hinduism is all about." No, in Hindus, they believe that you're the outsider, I'm the insider, and there is a caste system and whatnot, blah blah blah. So yeah, duality very much exists. If someone is doing I'm not going to endorse that. But maybe under the whole matrix of consciousness, under the fabric of the universe, the upholstery is such that everything is this 5-MeO DMT stuff, which I haven't done, but I hear that that's what it is all about. But that's the thing. People think mathematics is separate from this reality, 5-MeO DMT, this universal love, all this concept, this spiritual. And maybe yes, maybe there's if I have Dickens's book, right? I can invent a symbol and say, okay, every time I use that, I'm blurting out Dickens's Oliver Twist. Or like Oliver Twist, OT, combine OT, you get a cross inscribed inscribed in a oval, and that is the symbol for Oliver Twist. And every time he said that, that's a notation for Oliver Twist, right? But my question is, that's a concept for Oliver Twist, and that itself is composed of symbols like that letter T. And you add those symbols up and you get a concept, expression, and you somehow. So mathematics is as nebulous as a pothead. There, I said it. People just rigidly try to make it, cut and dry it into pack it into little boxes and put some explanation, bullshit, pseudo explanation how world works. But if you dig it deep, it's like anything. How this mechanism, sound mechanism, you do light mechanism, fucking hydraulics, shit, mechanics, whatever. You break it down into grammar, ultimate grammar. Why is this? They'll do this this showmanship of this hoopla, this brouhaha. I don't know what I'm talking. I'm going crazy. This illusion of that. Oh, this grand showmanship. This is all it's about. But yeah, ultimately, what is this sigma, F calculus, blah blah blah? What is that? What is this a concept? And your concept is good as mine. There's a universal concept. Why do you assume universal concept? So we are back to square one. So how do you define the universal concept? With notations. How do you define explain the notations? With explanations. And how do you explain the language? With symbols. And how do you explain the symbols? With language. See? Basically, your brain in that type of weird psycholinguistic paradox, or like this mayhem.